Gemma Sugrue is no stranger to the singing or voice coaching world, and nor to the Singing Teachers Talk podcast. And Gemma is back with us this week to talk about the work that she's doing with coaches in business and branding. Gemma is here to talk about how we can reinvent ourselves and follow our true creative interests. She gives us inspiration on how to make that first move and how we can actually pull on all of the things that make us who we are to create the business and the life that we desire. And as her slogan says, she helps us turn who we are into what we do. Gemma Sugrue, we are so ready for you. Gemma, can you tell us something that we might not know about you?
Oh, that's something you might not know about me. Let's see. I'm literally looking at the wall right now. I've started drawing and it's a world of fun I totally overlooked. And I'm not quite good at it, but I've gotten really into it. So now, yeah, a hobby of mine is just sitting down and coloring and drawing and painting while I listen to music, and it's gorge. Highly recommend.
And do you find yourself more on the abstract side, or are you quite realistic?
At the moment, I just want to draw pretty flowers and I just can't get enough of that. And so I'm out on walks often and I'll find a flower that I really like and then I'll want to draw the flowers. That's the phase I'm in. But my friend who's into abstract painting, who actually painted this is me in abstraction.
Oh, wow.
And she gave this to me for my 40th birthday last year. And so she said that she thinks that I'll end up here, but this is the phase I'm in right now, just making flowers and things. But I will get to a point, she thinks that I'll want to be more playful and do something like this.
Wow. Yeah, I love that. I love that part. So
Isn't it cool?
Can you explain you in that abstract painting?
Well, these are my colors. Have you ever done that app where you get to find out what your color palette is? I think I'm a light summer. So these are the colors I'm meant to be wearing, hence the pink top. And then that little swirl there is that's the EastEnders bit. So that's me living in London. And then there's like some skyscrapers here. That's London Gemma. And then like the rest of it, then it's just like my creativity and I don't know. That was some of what she gave me. But I look at it and see different things all the time. And she's like a very good friend. She's known me for 20 odd years. And she's a beautiful artist. So it's a gorgeous gift.
You've had a really fascinating career and it's been so varied so far. And, who knows, we might be calling you Gemma the artist and the painter very, very soon. You started out as a wedding singer and then you went on to perform with some high profile singers and you've appeared on TV as a background artist. Alongside that, you set up your own teaching studio, VoiceWorks, which you later then sold. And you created Pro Vocal Artist, which is still running, but with new directors. And on top of that, you built a brilliant presence online. I've loved your videos over the years on Instagram and of course on TikTok as well, and across YouTube. And you've shared some of your expertise across podcasts. Hours you've been on. This is, I think, we've welcomed you back the third time because we love having you on. And that's covered things like entrepreneurship, habit forming, and we spoke to you about mix and belt technique, which is sustained its place as one of our top most listened to episodes.
Oh, wow.
So when you hear all of that back, how does that actually feel?
Oh, I'm very grateful. I'm very lucky to have been able to just follow my curiosity and weave my way through things and passions and excitements and follow my bliss. Like music and singing is the coolest pathway for experiences, for very novel experiences, for meeting cool, original types of people and being in very unique circumstances. I feel very, very grateful for everything I've experienced. I feel like my life has been very rich because of the kind of work, the line of work I've been involved in. And yeah, grateful. That's what I feel, I think.
You're now giving focus over to helping people with their branding and their business. So what inspired you to move your attention to that side of things?
Yeah, I was thinking about this recently. How did I get here? And I reflected back when I had VoiceWorks. So I started VoiceWorks Studio, which was my singing school in Ireland, with my best friend at the time, Leisha. She had a really good collection of music books that I wanted to use. So I thought, why don't we get a place together where we can put all our music books together and we can have all the students come into the same place. And so anyway, we started VoiceWorks, we had a ball, and as that progressed on, I started getting more interested in coaching the coaches. So I'd say about year 8 or 9 of that business, I became quite interested in just developing the coaches. I was like, if I take care of the coaches will take care of the students, and that will take care of the school. And so then I got quite, I might have been overbearing on them a little bit, where I was like, more meetings, more meetings. And everyone's just like, can we just coach and teach? And I'm like, no, 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 I must develop everybody. And so then I kind of realized, okay, maybe this isn't quite the place for this enthusiasm. And so I ended up developing 2 of those coaches into becoming the co-directors of yeah, they're now the owners of the business. So I've sold the business to them and now they run it. But I had poured an awful lot into them as coaches because I was just excited and interested in that. And then it turned out I was like, oh, maybe they should run it. So then I handed it over to them. And then the next thing I went on to was artists. And now I'm working with coaches. And now I'm coaching coaches to be artists. So they feel like that's the path I've been on there.
And how do you feel like all of your experiences have sort of pulled together to be where you are now? How have they all influenced each other?
Yeah, everything has been like, oh, I think this is it. And then I'll go and when I do something, I do it like to the max. I want to like really go for it. And then I'll have a moment where I feel like, oh, I don't think I should be here. I think somebody else should be here. And that happened to me on stage where I was like, this is an amazing opportunity I'm in right now. But I know one of my students would be actually better here than me. And this isn't fully me. So I'm just constantly iterating for alignment all the time. Like it's this, but it's not quite this. But of course, everything along the way is informing me of what it is and what it isn't. So it's just a emergent little journey I'm on all the time.
What is the feeling of that energy being maybe displaced, or that you're not quite in the right spot? And how do you recognize that in yourself?
Yeah, I think it's energetic. I'm a very excitable person and passionate and very emotionally driven person. And so if I feel, it's quite profound for how much I can feel excited and not excited. Like not excited is like I want to lie down and hide. And excited is everything is flying and I want to take over the world. So I have a very profound energetic compass. And as soon as I feel like it's off, it's just like really off. And I'm like, I've got to go. Bye. And then it's everything's closed down. Things are sold. I don't ever teach singing again. Like I have this very clear yes and no energetically, I think.
And so how would you help a coach to kind of recognize those times? Because I've noticed it myself across the years. I feel like when you say that, you should be in a rocking chair with like a martini or something. That's me seeing into the future. But it feels to me like I'm a little bit suffocated. I sort of dread putting in the hours for that particular thing. And I think, oh, this feels a bit uncomfortable. It's a discomfort in my body. And maybe my mind is actually inside screaming, no. But outwardly, it's, giving yourself over to this project or whatever it might be. So how would you help a coach, to kind of tune into those messages that your body might actually be giving you?
Yeah, you've said it exactly. It's tuning into the body. All of these answers, all of this wisdom is in the body. And I think there's also, I would say, I have a personality trait to be able to embrace instability and the unknown and uncertainty. Like I definitely over index for a sense of freedom over security. Like security is not at the top of my value set. And so I'm really comfy with just letting go of things and trusting that the right thing will unfold. But that's like a muscle that I've had to build. So I do think that that trust muscle is something like self-trust is something you have to build over time, where you just kind of let go and trust that you're going to be taken care of and it's going to work out. And then it works out and you're like, okay, I'm going to be able to let go of something even more the next time. So it's all this like shedding and recreating all of the time, this like death and rebirth. And I remember during like a really, I think the most turbulent time I experienced was the last letting go of the last business, where I handed it over to two of the students that I had been coaching in the artist development online business. And a couple of months prior to that, I had announced online that all of my courses were being sold off in a bundle. I'm never teaching singing again. So I've now removed, I don't sing. I don't teach singing. I literally took everything away from myself that was my identity and that was my source of income. And I was sitting there in like March or April of 2024, and I was on a call, a business mentorship call, and I couldn't fight the tears. I was so afraid. I was like, I'm here in a beautiful one bed apartment in Crouch End that I am on my own and that I have to pay for. I have literally just given up everything that is like stable for me. I have no income source anymore. And what am I going to do? And it was all a bunch of dudes on the call, and I think they were kind of like, oh, the main mentor was like, oh, the woman is crying, and he kind of pushed forward the very spiritual guy in the group, and he said to me, Gemma, this is the moment that you are being made. And I was like, okay. And he was like, this struggle, this despair, this is when you're made. And I was like, okay. And he's like, embrace it, go into it, let it, and you will emerge from it. And it will actually be the thing that is your value to the world when you emerge out of it. And I was like, okay. So then from that moment in mid 2024 up until pretty much now, I've been in this kind of free fall of letting go of everything and becoming somebody new and building my trust in what will emerge. And then what's emerging is just very surprising. I'm kind of letting everything surprise me now since then. But that was a big part. So it's trust. It's building the trust muscle and developing your ability to kind of let go.
We're all in different situations, aren't we? And also different mindsets. So it reminds me of when me and my husband went to the bank and we were looking at maybe doing some investments of some type. And they asked us, what level risk are you at?
Oh, yeah.
And my husband was like, I'm high risk, just go in. And I was like, holy moly, okay. I was like, I'm kind of medium risk. So I can imagine you'd be like, yeah, all in. I'm all in. Go for it.
I am. Totally. And I think that that's a strength and a weakness for me, because I can sometimes not be good in the gray, and and balance is something I have to really work on, because I just need things to be very like black or white, in or out, off or on. But what I'm finding myself returning to now is this kind of very nuanced way of being in the world that encapsulates lots of me. And that isn't like, I just coach artists, I just coach coaches, I just sing, it's an embodiment of everything now, but more in a like authentic way.
So when you're working with a coach who really wants to embrace change, but they're quite frightened, maybe their situation is just maybe a little bit different to what you've experienced, how do you help them to take a step forward towards change, which might open up this brilliant life that's way more aligned to them, but also not worry too much about the other stuff?
Yeah, I know. I think it's gradual, and I'm just helping them get comfortably uncomfortable bit by bit. And so we just have little moments of change, and then they have to start with the belief, the trust, the faith, and then they go, okay, I believe that it can happen, and they have to believe it before it happens. And then when it happens and the 3D world gives them the evidence that this is real, then they're like, okay. And then they're on to the next thing. And there's no turning back. It's like once I say, you know what, you could be charging 5 times more than you're charging right now. And they're like, no, I can't. And I'm like, trust me, you can. Here's how you can be, blah, blah, blah. And then once I get them in that state of belief, like, and they can see it and they understand it and they feel it, like, they're like, yeah, I feel like that is what I should charge for this. And then they go and they charge it and somebody says yes, then there's no turning back. They're like, oh, now my self-worth, my worth of myself as a coach is this. The thermostat has changed. So it's just giving them those little moments of, yeah, new belief system, then the proof of the belief system, and then we move on to the next thing and we just comfortably expand their capacity to hold that discomfort of change.
I was watching a really great webinar from one of Chris Johnson's courses on self-massage, and he was talking about how offering a self-massage or a self-massage activity to a singer who doesn't believe in massage being a route for change is sort of pointless, because it's going to have that obstacle in the way. And how much does this nod towards sort of like manifestation?
Oh yeah, it's that. I mean, I try to cloak the level of woo that I might be right now. But like I'm very much a believer in the quantum field, and yeah, we everything that we want already exists. We just have to know how to tune into the radio frequency of that thing that we want, or that lifeline that we want. And everything starts within. And all emotions are all decisions are created with emotion, with the limbic system. So if you can like say a thing intellectually, like, oh yeah, I believe that, but unless you feel it in your body, you don't, and it won't work. And so it has to actually, they have to mean it and feel that they mean it. And then the stuff just unfolds once you make that emotional decision.
And you did also life coaching, didn't you, to bring that in? Because that's actually quite a massive part of what you do. It's really using the whole human being as voice does in general, but in your coaching, you're bringing all of those life elements in. So how was that training for you?
Yeah, that was amazing. I loved that. It was something I always, when I was in this kind of phase in my life of transition, I asked myself what would I have loved to have trained as, and it was actually as a life coach. And I had this, oh, do I want to be a therapist? I was like, no, I feel like my disposition as a person is very like optimistic and possibilities and growth orientated. So it felt very aligned. So I went into that. I think the thing that I enjoyed the most about that process was developing my ability to be in space with somebody and hold a really good space with somebody and really listen and clean myself out of the conversation, and be able to like, yeah, take care of them and hold them and guide them in the right way. So yeah, it's been massive. I've loved it, and I'm still learning all the time and developing, yeah, my skills there.
P.S. If you do ever write a book, I do feel like it needs to be called Cloaking the Level of Woo, colon, I don't know, Believing in Change or something. I think we've got the
Yeah, yeah.
title already, so that's out there. I had a call with you recently, and it was so interesting because you picked up on quite nuanced things about what I was saying, like under the surface of what I was saying. How do you do that? What is it that you're actually picking out in coaches? Is it keywords? Is it the questions you're asking?
Yeah, yeah. There's so much that we're kind of sharing beyond the words we're saying. I suppose there's the energetics, there's the even you'll hear certain words repeated, but I'm constantly trying to understand as much wholeness in the person as possible. Like get as big a picture as possible of the person. And that's what I'm trying to contextualize what I'm hearing to the bigger picture of them. So I usually ask questions beyond the scope of the career, even though it's the career that I'm helping with. But the getting, yeah, an understanding of the person, the environment, their context, their what they care about, what they desire, and then finding the pattern. So finding the repetitive things that come up in the different types of questions or areas we talk about, you'll find some kind of pattern or something you can thread together as a theme.
With the clients that you've been working with so far, is there a pattern that you're noticing between them?
So I've been really slow to have a website. And so I've just been taking on clients without having any marketing. And I'm just marketing by sending people messages, getting on conversations with them, and listen. And through that, then I would sign some clients. But then just through the process of listening to so many different coaches, I've seen what my place is. I'm now understanding what I'm here to do. And the theme that I have found come about is people's longing to kind of fully express themselves and expand. I haven't met one person yet that doesn't feel like they want more creativity in their life or more some outlet of expression in their life that's creative, whether making or expressing. And then I think in terms of the work, I know that everybody I have spoken to has wanted their work to be a source of expansion for them. And so I've ended up on the website now with my line, turn who you are into what you do. And I think that's been my experience over my life has been like, but it's not quite me. It's kind of me, but it's not quite me. And I've just constantly been trying to find what's really, really, really me. And I feel like I'm there now and I get to be it. And that's what I want to help others with now.
The thing that I really admire about you, Gemma, is that you're not afraid to reinvent and follow your creativity, as you said in the beginning. If somebody is sort of balancing business and other creative wants and that sort of thing, is there a way that they can do that? And how would you advise they do that without like shedding every feather in order to follow a new pathway, if you like? So they know something's working, but something's not involved and they're missing it. How can we get into that?
Yeah, I think what I learned from my mistake here, you don't need to announce anything. Like you can go on your curiosity path without like I felt like I kept having to make announcements all the time. Like I'm this now. Like nobody cares. And not that nobody cares, but it's just like it's amazing how important identity was to me and what people like for people having a box to put me into. And now I've had such a conflict with that I ended up just taking everything off of my Instagram because I was like, I don't know. I really don't. And I don't want to know I don't want to define it. And so I took everything off the Instagram and disappeared there. I'm letting myself slow brand so that I'm letting it emerge to me what it is. And I feel like I've gone through that process now, and I'm probably in the place where I'm able to articulate what it is now. But I would recommend that they get into conversations with people. This is my favorite thing to do and listen and understand like who do you feel like aligned with or connected with or curious about and ask if they would meet up for a conversation and see what comes from there. And I think go into your life, follow your passions and your joys and your bliss. If that's going for coffee with a friend, if that's doing some yoga, if that's going for a walk, be in your life because you know everything. Everything you need to know is already within you, but you just need to be in your life for it to be revealed to you. So I would just go on that and don't hold on to it too tightly. Like it's going to be, let it surprise you.
Hey you! If you're enjoying the Singing Teachers Talk podcast, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We are committed to bringing you engaging conversations and valuable insights from experts across the field of voice. By subscribing, it means we can continue to do that. You'll never miss an episode, and you'll be helping to spread the word to other singing teachers, vocal coaches, and overall voice nerds. So subscribe to this channel now and just watch your teaching grow. Let's imagine that you are a vocal coach who has been working in maybe like a stage coach type scenario or any other like after school club, maybe even as a peripatetic teacher, and you feel like that's not where you want to be anymore. You want to go and explore some of your other creative ideas or maybe set up something else for your own business. How can we have those conversations confidently with employers or people who are higher in level than us in that business to talk about change, to understand our options, and maybe even to hand our notice in? Because that can feel quite scary to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. I think with anyone I've worked with so far that had a blend of self-employment and employment, again, I would let the self-employment piece and the work that I do with them there prove itself to them first. Now, again, it starts with their belief, and then their belief gets reflected back to them from the real world. And as soon as that happens, I notice them having what they need to shed. And what they need to shed is conviction, confidence, clarity. Energetically, they're able to go into that meeting with a lot of compassion and clarity to the person that they're working for and going, this is where I'm headed now. This is what feels right for me. I'm so grateful for everything that I've done here. So if they're going into that meeting from a place of, oh God, like from scarcity or lack or fear, that will read energetically to the person they're in the meeting with. So I think it's about feeling like things are working out over here and now I can. But yeah, they need to be coming from a strong place themselves emotionally. I always feel like you should have something that's making you feel secure and good and safe. And like, I talk about the nervous system a lot in the work, and you feel like that takes time to develop safety in change. And we actually can't really do our best work unless we are feeling safe. So I would never like pull the rug from somebody or let them pull the rug from underneath themselves, but also keep them moving towards something and not feel stagnant. But I think there are ways we can do that gradually. So it is creating some more stability over here in the self-employment and more conviction where they emotionally feel like, yeah, I'm a steady rock going in and saying goodbye to this.
We spoke with Estelle Idoko recently on the podcast about finding a way to fulfill a creative life. And she actually went to medical school and now is a vocal coach and is on a music degree. If you are working with a coach who seems to have, on the surface, quite polar opposite interests, maybe they had a degree in biology to start with, and then actually they found that they really enjoy painting and they have an interest in psychology. How can we pull these parts of us together to make something nuanced?
Yeah. It's getting to the depth of it. It's getting to the depth of the person, and it'll always be tied together somehow. There will be something deeper in that human that will be the reason they go off and split it off into different avenues. So for me, for example, I'm a business coach, but I write my own music. And I don't want to atomize that. I want that to be together and be in the same plant pot. And I want me walking the walk of being a singer-songwriter to be part of why you would hire me as your business coach, and to not like separate it or silo it. Because I really believe in expansion, creativity, and self-expression. And I believe in giving people those abilities or gifts or insights in their business as well. And they're the kinds of clients I want to work with. I want to work with a coach who has desires to do something artistic in the world. So I think it's actually a great asset and benefit, and creates a very interesting brand. The most charismatic people in the world are contradictions. You have the like Legally Blonde. She's this Barbie doll looking girl who's absolutely sharp and the smartest in her class. We're just so drawn and attracted to those contradictions. It's beautiful. I had another coach who I was working with, and she's a vocal coach. She's deeply interested in the power of nature and how it can help her as a life coach. And she's a creativity coach. And she found a man who he was feeling really stagnant in his corporate job, and he needed to kind of reconnect to his creativity to get fulfillment back in his very kind of regular, not regular, but like very straightforward type corporate job. And she basically incorporated nature walks, songwriting, and vocal coaching in her offer. And that's exactly what he needed. And now he's releasing some music, and he's much happier at work, and he's found a way to be his creative self again. So I think all of our intersections or contradictions are what make us really valuable.
So how can I get my interest in crisps to be part of my business brand?
Your interest in crisps.
Love a crisp.
Yeah. What is it that you love about crisps?
I'm a savoury gal. I will always reach for the sausage roll before I will a chocolate roll,
Yeah.
if you will. A crisp connoisseur. It's the flavour. It's the comfort of a crisp. I think I know where you're going to take me on this. This is what you do, Gemma. I know where you're going. You use, yeah. Okay, so what would you say on that?
Well, you tell me what's going to mind for you.
It's the words, isn't it? Comfort
Uh-huh.
and having flavor, and I think it's those things.
Mm-hmm. What is it? What's comforting about crisps for you?
I Yeah, I think it just speaks to the savory part of my interest of my palate, to be honest. I'm not really too fussed about the crunch. It's really the intense flavor. If you're giving me salt and vinegar, I kind of want to burn a hole through my tongue.
Uh-huh. And are you very particular in other realms, or is it just crisps? Do you apply this approach in other areas of your life?
Oh, oh yes, when I was little, if my mum or nan or anyone held my hand and it wasn't tight enough, I would get quite annoyed and I'd be like, "You're not doing it properly. You need to hold it so I can actually feel the firmness of you holding my hand. Don't be limp."
Yeah, I
If my
know.
husband gives me one of those silly limp kisses on the cheek, I'm
Yes.
like, "Don't do that. That's hideous." Like I need to proper like sucker.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
So I
need
feel big feels.
Aha, totally. God, now I'm going to reveal my woo-woo. But what star sign are you?
Oh, can you guess?
Well, you sound like a Taurus, but maybe you're not.
I'm a Gemini.
Okay. So like what I'm getting is but like Taurians are very sensual in that they like the senses, they like to feel, to touch, to taste. They like to be in the world, and they have like really strong sensibilities about what they like and what they don't like. And so I don't know, does that resonate in how you approach anything in your life other than crisps and hand holding?
Yes. Yeah, I don't like small talk, don't really like it. It's got to be meaningful. I like meaningful conversations. I like deep books that make me cry in the way that you described yourself it's you're either in or you're out. I'm okay in grey, but I like to feel it.
Yes, I think that's the core. You need to feel it. It needs to be the taste that you're looking for, the particular savory thing, the particular sense of the hand holding. You need that like punch from it.
Yeah. It's like umami coaching.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh my God. Have we just come? We've just tapped on right.
New genre.
New genre. Well, this is Gemma Sugrue, everyone. This is what she does. We've gone from crisps into how I'm bringing this strong flavor into the work that I do.
Yeah. Are you very discerning in your coaching?
Give me an example.
Like, would you be quite like in terms of taste and what you need the sound to be like, or what you're hearing, or what you want to hear and what you're not quite hearing yet?
Well, I would say yes, because in musical theatre, I'm thinking about a more specific vocal target. So the work that I do at the drama school, for example, I'm there as a technical singing teacher. So it is working on the intricacies of how to do a particular task and to reach a particular vocal target. So yeah, maybe I am.
You're probably quite discerning about what you need to feel from the singer.
Mm, this is bringing up a lot of questions. But this is an experience of what it's like to actually come and have a chat with you and to talk about it. And you know what? I love having chats with you and other coaches who do like live coaching. And like I've had a conversation with Tommy Ludgate as well, who I know that you've paired up with quite a bit.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And we had Louise Callan on the podcast a while ago talking about values. And it leaves you with a sense of excitement for what could be and like a bubbly sort of jelly feeling. That's
Yeah.
quite nice.
It is nice.
Yeah. Can you tell us what, if somebody was to come and work with you on a long-term basis, what would the sessions be like? What would you include?
Yeah. So I like that. I like the way you use adjectives, by the way. It is a bubbly kind of, it's that kind of just reminds me that there's more than meets the eye feeling that you get from coaching. Like there's more to this. There's more depth, there's more breadth, there's
It's
more.
umami.
Yeah. It's, yeah, the taste explosion that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
So I think with what people can expect, I have a conversation with somebody to begin with, and I do a lot of listening and a lot of understanding of them before I would decide whether or not there's an opportunity for them and I to work together. And then I usually am quite bespoke about how I would put together an offer for somebody, but I really try to get clear on an outcome. And the outcome, it can be quite intangible or it can be tangible, like it can be, I need to feel a certain way in the next 3 to 6 months or a year, or I need to reach this particular income target, or I need to grow my brand in this way. But we have to kind of decide together what it is we're working on, we're partnering on together. And then we go on that journey, and we're also open to the emergence that will come in the journey as well, and where it might take us. But yeah, I like to spend time with somebody. I like to get to know them. I like to have deep conversations with them, coaching conversations. Sometimes people come, we work in person, so we go for walks and we hang out and we talk. Oftentimes just being in an environment together, like if you're overlooking a beautiful scene and we take some time to like co-regulate together, the stuff just comes up. Or I could have been sitting face to face with them for a conversation, and then we get up and go for a walk. And that's when the idea will hit, because when we're walking, when we're in our body, maybe we'd even go for a swim, like who knows, whatever we need. Being embodied, I really find brings out the answers. Like everything they have is within, they know everything they need to know. I'm just here as a conduit to bring that to the surface. And so what else do we do? WhatsApp. Like I love WhatsApp. I love being able to send somebody a voice memo. I love being able to text somebody back and help them when they're stressed or struggling with anything. So just having that access to me. I'm open to painting with people now because I'm into painting. I'm just open to whatever makes somebody feel good and puts them into a really good nervous system state, and then lets them feel comfortable to kind like the stuff will come up then that we need to come up. So yeah, it's an open thing.
Could you share a success story of someone who has been transformed and has built something out of the work that you've done together?
Yeah. Who will I say now? Because I'm really proud of Amelia. She's my coach that I work with in Berlin. And Amelia, I saw in Sweden about 10 years ago at a vocal conference. And she was just one of the acts in the opening ceremony. And I was like, oh my God, she's incredible. And I actually spoke about her all weekend. And she was just a woman who sang a jazz song at the opening ceremony. She wasn't really anything to do with the conference. But I was on this like bender of like, she was real singing. That's what singing sounds like. That's what we're looking for. She just really gave me the feels. A few years later, I moved to London, and my first night in London, I go out for Indian, and I'm so excited to be in London. I'm like, oh my God, it's full of possibilities. And I look to the corner, and there's a board, and there's a business card with Amelia's name on it about a workshop she's doing. And I'm like, oh my God, she lives in London. Now she's Swedish, but she was living in London. And it was like my first night there. And I was like, I don't know what, I just have to connect with her. So I just connected with her on Instagram with no intention of like working with her or anything at the time. And then further down the line, I start this artist program. And I think she would be like my dream client for this. And so I pitched it to her, and she said yes. And she became one of my first clients of my artist program. And then a few years later, I'm now working with coaches, and she reconnected with me again, or I might have reconnected with her, I can't remember. And I started working with her as a coach, and her results have been insane. Like I just can't get over how now she's just incredible. Everything she touches turns to gold. She runs this amazing retreat in Isla. And then she had all these students who were wanting to go deeper with her and do deeper dives. She was able to let go of her kind of old way of doing things, which was like one-on-one coaching and was like subscription membership. And now she does these deep dive transformative offers that are much more expensive and much bigger commitment for people, but are way more rewarding. She's just working with people who really get her vibe. And now she's doing the retreats, and she's enjoying the retreats more. She's going to add another retreat to the roster. She's adding more people, but the money she made in the short amount of time, how she now has all this space and time in her life to actually be the artist that she is, because she is an incredible artist that has so much to give to the world. And she's only working with people who are totally aligned to her, and they're paying her value. Like they're paying her way more money than than she was making before, and it's what she deserves. So she's one of the clients I'm so proud of.
Wow. Yeah, and also the fact that that card was there on your first night in London, that's absolutely going in the
Oh,
book.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the signs, they're there, they're everywhere.
How can we tune into that?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I just love tuning into that. It's presence, it's meditation, it's yoga, it's being in nature, it's slowing, everything slowing down and being with the moment that we're in right now. And I actually just think having that sense every day of like, where are the signs? What do I need to know today? How can life surprise me today? I think that's one of my favorite prompts at the moment. Like just starting your day with like, how can life surprise me today?
Something I love, which may come under the woo woo umbrella, but I don't care. I just put a question out to the world. I say, if I meant to do this particular thing, I need by next week for someone to have shown me a book I hadn't seen before. And then it got to the end of the week. I've not forgotten about the question that I put out, but it was not always in the forefront of my mind. I was just kind of allowing it to happen if it happened. And then it got to like the day of the deadline, if you like. I was talking about a vocal book to somebody, and then somebody else in the office that I was in went, "Yeah, but is it these?" And she pulled out a drawer, and there was just all these fiction books in there. And I was like, "Okay, that's that's incredible."
Oh, I love that. Yeah, they call there's a book called Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zealand, and he talks about inner intention and outer intention. So you have your inner intention of like, this is something I think I want to do next with my life. So that's your inner intention. And then you want it to be met with the outer intention, the universe speaking back to you and going, yeah, that's the way, let's go. So I think you just demonstrated a perfect way to do that.
Oh, yeah, it was amazing. I mean, should I ask the universe what packet of crisps I should have next? Who knows?
Yeah,
I'll do
yeah,
it and
yeah,
let you know how it
do.
goes.
Yeah.
Gemma, you say you've got a new website coming very soon. So where can people find out about you, get in touch, and have one of these wonderful conversations of their own?
Yeah, so my website is my own name, GemmaSugrue.com, and I'm just going to probably publish it today, so it'll be up online when this posts. And yeah, if there's just buttons all over that for a conversation, I don't kind of funnel anyone into anything other than just having a conversation with me. I'm showing up on YouTube at the moment just because I have a lot on my mind. And so I just share it on a video there. And sometimes I feel like creative writing, so I'm doing that on Substack.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, thank you. Where can we find your Substack?
That's on the website as
That's on
well,
the
but it's
website as
it's
well.
my name. Yeah, they're both my name, Gemma Sugrue.
Yeah, amazing. And soon we'll have your paintings up for us to buy on the
Yeah, who
website too.
knows? You
Yeah.
never know.
Oh, Gemma, it's been amazing to chat. Thank you so much. And I've got that bubbly feeling again. So this is what she
Yay.
does. This is what she does.
I love it. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thanks, girl.